After Bayern Munich's demolishing of Borussia Dortmund, is it the CEO, the owner of Borussia Dortmund? What's his name?
Dortmund Chief Executive Officer, CEO, Hans-Joachim Watzke.
Not bad.
I think that's right.
I
think that's right.
I feel like we've not been on a clip with each other for ages.
It's been, let's see, Monday, no, because you do your thing with your friends overseas. Tuesday was yesterday, and we talked about the most important thing going on in sports right now, and that's the baseball playoffs. And now it's today.
Okay, so we're back. We're back on, and it's the dynamic duo, the gruesome twosome, the turbulent,
the best 1-2 punch in sports entertainment. Is that not?
You just heard the laugh in the background.
No.
People are like, no. Oh, it was okay. All right, but anyway, Dortmund CEO has came out and basically said that the title race is over, and everyone gasped and said, well, no shit, Bayern Munich are unbelievable. But what this has done is this has opened the gates for all those bandwagoners to jump in and be like, oh, Bundesliga is not competitive enough, Bayern Munich are too good, there's not enough money, blah, 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 blah. And I just want to say that that needs to be stopped. Ooh. It needs to be stopped because Bayern Munich, yes, are phenomenal at the moment. But Borussia Dortmund won the league 11 and 12. Werder Bremen won it not that long ago. Wolfsburg won it in 2008, 2009. That is a lot of diversity in there. Yes, Bayern Munich are the front runners and are always going to be there or thereabouts. But there has been competition there. Just because Bayern Munich are suddenly phenomenal again doesn't mean that the Bundesliga has to come under scrutiny for not being competitive enough. Actually look at the diversity from the front 10, like 1 through 10 compared to the Premier League or La Liga. There is teams like Hertha Berlin right now who are battling for a Champions League spot. Early stages, I understand. But there's a lot of competition. And this argument does get old for me. So I'm backing up the Bundesliga fans that are in the comment section that have said I don't know shit. I actually do. And this matter is one that has to go away.
Yeah, no, besides the fact that the Bundesliga has proven their weight in the Champions League, not just so much that Dortmund won the Bundesliga in 11-12, they were in the Champions League final.
Of course they were.
Not too long ago. And granted, well, at least if you're going to compare the Bundesliga to the other major leagues in world football, you have the Serie A, which you can make the same argument for all of them outside the Premier League. I understand why people say the Premier League isn't the best league to watch every single year. It's by far the most competitive league in all of world football. That's observationally, again, like the goal differentials. But of course, like you could see Spain's success in the Champions League.
Yes.
You can see Italy's success in the Champions League. And the Bundesliga is going to fall into that same category, at least to me, as these other leagues that are, yes, they're top-heavy. I get that. But I just think like one of the root of the issues with this whole statement is it doesn't matter if the CEO of Dortmund truly believes that Bayern's going to win. He's probably smart for believing that because Bayern is probably going to win, right?
Yes, absolutely.
But you don't say that.
Yes,
you don't say that, Francis.
I agree.
Because it's a psychological factor. You don't want to be a player looking into the headlines. And some will say that they don't read headlines, they don't see the news. It's impossible to escape it nowadays. It is.
Yeah.
So they know. Now, Reus, Aubameyang, the rest of Dortmund knows that their CEO doesn't even believe in them to win.
Yes.
And that's wrong. So keep it to yourself or at least make it interesting and say, no, I think that outside of Bayern Munich, we're the only other team that has a chance.
Yes.
It's fine.
But the thing is, if you're coming into this Bundesliga season and you think that Borussia Dortmund actually believed that they were going in and a goal this season was to win the Bundesliga, then you are high. Because that might have been a goal.
I'm just caffeinated.
That might have been a view in the background. But they just came off the back of a up and down season where they, at the start of the season, were rooted to the bottom half of the table, then made a miraculous turnaround and managed to get in to a European spot. Not Champions League, because that is where they want to be this season. That is their goal, is to potentially be the closest rival to Bayern Munich, but it's to get into the Champions League. That is a realistic goal for them. And I read a brilliant piece on The Guardian that says just because Bayern Munich have upped the standard doesn't mean that everyone else suddenly goes and throws their toys out the pram and says, oh, this is just too hard. It means that they have to play up to that standard. And the thing about the Bundesliga is because of such miraculous wins, like a 5-1 victory, people suddenly go to that argument. But Bayern Munich lost 5-1 last year to Wolfsburg when they destroyed them.
Right, and that's because the media is so quick with the recency bias. It's something that's talked about with player contracts. It's something that's talked about in world football too. It's like we are so hot off the fact. I mean, look, it's not wrong to say, by the way, right now for Bayern, like Robert Lewandowski, is he the best striker in the world? Of course that's becoming the conversation right now because he's scored so many goals in the last few games.
Yep.
But it's the same effect that happens. It's the recency bias. It's like they just lost 5-1. Okay, that doesn't mean What if Dortmund comes out after the international break and outscores their opponents 45-1 until they face Bayern again?
I was gonna put you said in one game, and I was like,
no. Like it's like until they face Bayern, they're just demolishing all opponents, and then they go into Bayern and they lose or keep it close, and everyone's gonna look back and say, "Oh, we knew nothing because it was just 1-5-1 victory."
What is funny though is like up until this game against Bayern Munich, the Borussia Dortmund fans, especially on our channel, which I love all your guys' comments, but they were like, how can you say Bayern Munich are the most informed team right now? Dortmund have won all their games and are outscoring Bayern, are at the top of the league, and then Bayern win 5-1 and everyone goes, this league's not competitive enough, they just beat them 5-1. Pick a side. But anyway, this...
Because you're arguing with
Yeah, exactly. But what I'm talking about
Who are you arguing with?
I don't know, just someone out there. I feel like my clips are better when I feel like I'm arguing with someone. I'm just imagining someone annoying me behind that camera. And it could be with someone in
Probably named Jabari.
Yeah. How you doing?
Keeping the identity closed.
But people look at competition level they focus far too much of it on the top 4 teams or whatever. The competition is throughout. And Bayern Munich are a fantastic team right now, and Pep Guardiola has got them humble, he's got them hungry, and it's a privilege to watch them right now. But you see Stuttgart rooted at the bottom of the table. Even 3 or 4 years ago, they were competing in the Champions League. That's what I love about the Bundesliga in terms of the competition value. When you're talking about La Liga, yes, you might get Atletico Madrid winning the league once in a while, or Valencia, but the competition from top to bottom is diabolical. That's what I'm saying. From the bottom half, don't get me wrong, you'll get Celta Vigo beating Barcelona 4-1. Rare occurrence, and it's great to watch. But when you see the goal differentiation, as I said, at the end of the season, we've got Barca, Real Madrid, 40, 50 goals different than even teams that are like 10th and 11th. That's when you know that something's just not as competitive as it should be, and that's my argument for that. But I'm defending Bundesliga here because I do believe it's a great league, and I do like the competition, but just at the moment, Bayern Munich are too good. And that's because Guardiola is a fantastic manager and has built specifically around what they needed after last season. They lost a lot of depth out wide because Robben and Ribéry can't keep themselves fit. What do? They bring in Douglas Costa, a great signing. They scouted him, brought him in. They nurture their midfielders. They lose Schweinsteiger, they bring in Vidal. They use Müller sparingly. They use Lewandowski sparingly. He's a great manager, and it's going to be tested when he comes up against the best teams in the Champions League. I'm not going to count my chickens before they've hatched, drawn, and quartered. I don't know what that means, but I'm not going to count them.
Leave all of your cornered chickens and comments drawn in the comments section below.
Yes, please do.
Francis, fantastic rant.
That was good.
That was good.
Yeah,
do you feel better? Do you feel a little bit
feel a little weight off my chest?
Relieved?
And I feel that now when I go to Germany, whenever I go, they're going to welcome me
You're probably not going to be
with
welcome.
open arms. Don't know if that was German or Scottish. Subscribe.